Oh, ladies and gents, does anyone remember this? The People's Joker. Vera Drew, a terribly unfunny individual, made a riff on Joker and Batman about herself, because that's all people can do in this day and age. They're not creative, they just insert themselves into stories. And it was a gender-bending story about... The Joker was a gender bender, basically. I mean, there's no... There's no way to sugarcoat that. The Joker was gender bending, alright? And there's no PC way of saying it, because it's literally that's what the story is. And this was pulled from Toronto International Film Festival last year, because very clearly, there was a rights issue here. Very, very clearly. It was beyond parody at that point, right? Well, it's back. Gender-bending Joker from terribly unfunny Vera Drew is back. Oh, yes. So, the DC-inspired debut feature from terribly unfunny Vera Drew has now secured a North American release for the film via LA-based indie distributor Altered Innocence. That almost sounds nefarious. I mean, it does sound nefarious, and it sounds exactly like what these individuals want to do to children. So, I'll let that one sink in, I guess. A mixed media dark comedy, drawing inspiration from Drew's personal life. Why can't these people just be original? Why? It goes back to why comics are destroyed now at this day and age as well, just as an FYI. Because remember, all these comic book writers only see themselves in their comics, and they write themselves in their comics. Right? That's what people do in this day and age. And this is exactly the same with these movies now, and exactly the same with these terribly unfunny douchebags. They take something, and then they inject themselves into it. So it's an inspiration from Drew's personal life. The film is set to open at IFC Centres in New York City on April 5th, 2024, with additional markets and engagements to be announced at a later date. Co-written by Drew and Brie Delarose, the film, reimagining the origin story of the Joker, sees Drew's painfully unfunny aspiring clown, you're also painfully unfunny, grapple with her gender identity, whilst unsuccessfully attempting to join the ranks of Gotham City's sole comedy program in a world where comedy has been outlawed. It's super ironic that someone who's obviously incredibly left-leaning, and the left doesn't like jokes. Case in point, my news headline about Jonathan Majors saying, I was Kang and shit. That's a very funny joke. It's topical because he was literally Kang, and it takes the piss out of a discredited, ridiculous commentary about everyone just being Kangs and Queens. It's just nonsense, right? So left-leaning people don't like jokes. They want to clamp down on comedy, making a story about a place where comedy has been outlawed. I mean, that's quite literally the end goal of a lot of these individuals, controlling speech. You know? Because if I made a joke about trans people or a joke about lesers or whatever, right? It would be considered, oh, that's offensive, can't say that. There's something very, very ironic about all of this. So anyway, uniting with a ragtag team of rejects and misfits, Joker, the Harley Quinn, forms an illegal anti-comedy troupe that puts her on a collision course with the devious Cape Crusader controlling the city. That's right. Batman is a fascist in this story. Honestly, everything is... Black is white, white is black. Up is down, down is up. Everything's upside down in these people's worldviews. Anyway, featuring cameos by such notables as Tim Heidecker, Bob Odenkirk. How the fuck did you get him to get in it? Maria Bamford and Scott Aukerman. The film's principal cast also includes Lynn Downey, Nathan Faustin, and Kane Disler. Among others, Joey Lyons produced alongside EPs Richie Doyle and Connor Hannon and Ricardo Madaloso. I only know one person here. So while the attention-grabbing title was pulled from TIFF immediately following its premiere screening in the Midnight Madness section, it went on to make its US premiere at this year's Outfest LA Film Festival, where it was awarded a special mention in North American Narrative Feature Competition. Yeah, because it's just a self-insert, and it's quite literally just... The only reason it got notoriety is because it's gender bending. If this was just like if it was just a normal story, it wouldn't get any acclaim. These kind of things only get acclaim when you tick boxes. So in a statement on the People's Joker acquisition, Altered Innocence, still a disgusting title. Yeah, there's lots of parallels there. Frank Jaff observed that Vera Drew has taken her own life experiences and traumas to craft an entirely new genre of cinema. Yeah, terrible parody. That blurs the lines between documentary, coming-of-age film and parody, continued Jaff. We couldn't be more thrilled to champion this bold, intelligent... It's not intelligent. It's the least intelligent way to tell a story. Take an existing property, insert yourself into it. That's not intelligent. An hilarious piece of queer cinema that audiences around the globe have fallen in love with. No one's falling in love with it because these people basically aren't humans. They don't have personalities. Okay, they don't count as humans. My dog has more personality than these absolute raving lunatics. So no one's fallen in love with it. Drew stated for her part that she's absolutely thrilled to be bringing the People's Joker to theatres next spring, courtesy of Altered Innocence. This movie started as a DIY community project for queer artists, and I made it with my friends to process what it was like coming out as a trans woman working in the film and TV industry. It has been a long road freeing the People's Joker and finding a release plan that rings true to the queer anarchist spirit we had while making it. What better home than among Altered Innocence's catalogue of gorgeously gay and deliciously edgy films? I mean, look, I'll give you this. Your vocabulary is quite wide, but you're still a douche. And creatively bankrupt. So while it's not clear exactly what work has been done to free the film from the rights issue, that's what I don't get it. What are you doing, DC? So the team behind the project has made sure to underscore that it is in no way created by, endorsed by, or affiliated with DC Comics or any of its related companies. Jaff negotiated the deal for Altered Innocence with UTA and Rise Management on behalf of the filmmakers. This is just, it's crap. It's absolute crap. You know, it's absolute crap. This is textbook modern day nonsense in a film. And it's textbook modern day nonsense from multiple levels, because you've got everything wrong with cinema and comics and general writers here on display. This whole thing is that. And then you have also just this double speak nonsense that people have. Like, in no way on earth would these people be happy with free comedy. It's just, I mean, that's a joke in and unto itself. You literally want to police people's speech. So there you go. Nothing else to say on this. But the gay trans Joker's back.